welcome everyone. So great to see so many familiar faces and names. We're looking forward to the session today. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Pierre. Hello, everyone. Wonderful to see some familiar names indeed, and even a few faces. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'd like to give you just quickly first a quick overview of the agenda. This will be just very quick. So this is what we're gonna go through in terms of creating our word for the new year. So it's gonna be 5 steps. It's gonna be kind of a little structured, but also opening for ideation, for playing with the ideas, reflecting. So it's going to be an interesting process, and we look forward to going through it with you. And before we start, though, just something about whenever we want to embrace something new. So what does typically happen in our mind? um, it's common that all kinds of thoughts come up. Things like, oh, you tried this before, it didn't work, or I know you won't stick to this, or whatever the mind comes up with. It could be all kinds of judgment, self-judgment, predictions about the futures, or sometimes we may get some feeling of fear or feeling of anxiety about the future, or things about the past come up. So, in the session today, you're invited to notice what comes up, acknowledge it, make some space for it, but then bringing your attention back to the steps and what we're doing in the session today. So it's okay if the mind goes there or if the feelings come up. We notice and then we come back instead of getting entangled in them. And to get us started on such a good note, actually, let me stop sharing the screen. Sarah's going to guide us through a brief mindfulness practice so we can feel calmer, more grounded, and more ready for the session.
great. Thanks, Pierre. Yeah, bringing that quality of presence into that hour that we have together. And this meditation will be really short, about 5 to 7 minutes. It's a gentle, a soft one, an invitation to slow down and to make space for whatever new might be wanting to emerge in the next hour. So if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to close your eyes, to just encourage yourself to go inwards. If you're sitting, maybe feeling the sitting bones, being supported by whatever you're sitting on. If you're standing, feeling the ground, the earth supporting you. If you're lying down, same thing. And seeing how your body naturally wants to breathe. Maybe taking a big, deep in breath, deep out breath. And another. Maybe softening the shoulders, softening the jaw, the forehead. And just checking in, just checking how you are right now. We're trying to include everything that's happening right now, everything that's in your felt experience. So it might be feelings, it might be emotions. And noticing those emotions in the body. Where are those emotions in the body? What is the felt sensation of that emotion that you might be experiencing? And thoughts. Are you noticing some thoughts that are running and looping your head? Recurring thoughts. Well, thoughts that just seem to have that charge with them, right? Thoughts that come with sensations as well. Thoughts that are being felt in the body. your heart, your mind, and your body. How's your body doing right now? How relaxed or tense might be certain areas of the body. How connected to your body are you right now? There's no right or wrong, just noticing how connected are you to your body right now? How easily can you access the wisdom that your body has to offer right now? And as you notice all those things that all those experiences you might be living through, the body and including the mind and the heart, this gentle invitation to let these be as they are right now. In the next hour, there's nothing that needs to be fixed, solved, but allowing yourself to be exactly who you are for the next hour and making space for whatever authentic might be emerging. There might be some desires, some intentions, some longings. Using the breath to bring you back into present every time you notice your mind getting away or yourself getting a little bit out of your own body, right? Disconnecting maybe from presence. Can you use your breath to bring you back? Breathing in, breathing out, making space gently, slowly, as much as possible. You're able to make a lot of space. Maybe you're able to make a little bit of space. All is good. This intention to welcome whatever you're experiencing right now and to make space for whatever new might be wanting to emerge in the next hour. For another minute or so, just resting in that dimension of spaciousness or intention for spaciousness, connecting to that space within you. Maybe it's the stillness, the silence, that space within you that is ready to be nurtured, is ready maybe to become a little bit louder, is ready to welcome some new seeds, new intentions, new practices, new energies. Breathing in, softening, and then breathing out, making space. Breathing in, relaxing, breathing out, tiny bit more space. A few more breaths there. You're taking your time to conclude this mini practice in any way you'd like. Maybe it's a few more rounds of deep breath. Maybe it's just a gentle reacquainting yourself with your surroundings by opening the eyes, moving the body. However, you'd like to transition from those few minutes of arriving, grounding, making space, to our next little adventure for tonight. Let's say the rest of the
Thank
journey.
you. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. It is an adventure, a wonderful adventure. And we're gonna start with our first step in the adventure, which is the ideate step. So this is about coming up with ideas, and this is the part that is more like brainstorming. So it's not about coming up with ideas we think they're good ideas. It's just letting our mind be free, our spirit be free, and come up with whatever ideas might show up. So we don't assess those ideas, we don't compare those ideas. The idea is to just come up with ideas. So I would encourage you, if you want like some trigger questions to get you started, you might think about, what are my intentions for the year? You might think about, what kind of person do I aspire to become? So this going more into qualities that you may want to show up in the coming year. Or maybe certain achievements. What do I aim to achieve? So it could be any of those or anything else you can think of. If you have post-it notes, I would encourage you to put those on post-it notes. Ideally, it would be one idea per post-it, so you can easily later kind of move them around and put them into clusters. If you don't have post-it notes, no worries. You can do this on a journal or notepad. Just write them down, or any piece of paper and write them down. And again, there is no order. They don't have to be in a certain order. They don't have to make sense. They don't have to be good ideas. It's whatever shows up. And we're gonna take about 3 minutes for this. So it's not gonna be a lot of time. And don't worry, the exercises we're gonna do today, they're gonna be all very timed, because we wanna make sure we go through all 5 steps. And as I'm gonna show you at the end, you're always welcome to go back and revisit. But let's give it a try. Let's try with those time frames and see how far you get. I think most of the time we've done this almost every year, the last few years, and most of the time, most participants found out that what they came up with was something relevant and interesting, and they resonated with. And some of them went back and did some more work. But let's not think about that right now. Let's just ideate. So 3 minutes. Let's get started. Right. So, and if, more ideas are coming up, you can jot them down, jot down a few more ideas. And then in the next step, you'll still be able to add ideas. So don't think that anytime actually more ideas come up, just feel free to add them. This is not limiting ideation in any way. Okay, so now transitioning to the organizing those ideas and being a little playful with them in whatever way, works for you. So grouping them in the ideas that relate together somehow, kind of putting them together in a cluster. And if you're doing this with post-it notes, that's so easy to do. You move the ideas around. If you wrote down the ideas on a journal or a notepad, you can take a fresh page and then start to write down the ideas that belong together next to each other and draw a little circle around them to create that feeling of a cluster. So that's one way to do it. And when you're done with this step, and I'm going to give you a little extra time for this step, thinking about the clusters and adding labels to them, like something that represents the whole cluster. And what I'm showing you here are just ideas or samples. So don't feel like you need to include these ideas. It's just to show you some sample. And what might happen as you do this, new ideas might come up. Great. So we would add the new ideas as we go. So we're not limiting new ideas to step number one. Anytime new ideas come up, just feel free to add them. So ideally, after you're done with this step, you would have a number of clusters, could be one or two, three or four or more, and hopefully they also have some labels to identify the clusters. And let's give this 5 minutes. And if you happen to be done before 5 minutes, I would say staying, um, paying attention to the process and thinking, what else could it be? And that can be an opportunity to slow down and add some more ideas. Sometimes the best ideas don't come the first time around. They may take a little time to surface. So that time could be very valuable if you get to that point. Okay, so 5 minutes. Right. So we are transitioning to step number three. And step number three is the reflection part. Um, few thoughts on how this could happen. Reviewing your words, reading them again, maybe even reading them out loud. Look at your clusters, how you organize those words together, the labels you've given them. And again, new ideas might come up, so you could add them. Some people like to journal a little bit at this point. That can bring up some, further insights into the process or the words. And then the one thing you could do as you step back and look at everything you came up with, see if some of the words start to resonate more than others, and you can mark them. You can circle them or put a check mark next to them. So starting to zero in on some of the words that are more that you may be more passionate about. So we're going to take just 3 minutes for this. And again, as I mentioned previously, it seems like a little bit of time, not enough time, but usually it works and you can always revisit. So let's see what happens in the next 3 minutes. I'm going to put these in the chat for you in case you feel like you need to look at them again. Okay, so Now, step number four, and this one now it's gonna be convergence into this one word. So this is probably among the steps, could be the most challenging one. How do you pick one? So, yeah, it's selecting your word. You have this task right now to select a word, not two, just one. Um, and remember, one thing I think it might help to remember, when we select that word and that intention and this area that's important for us, it doesn't mean it's the only thing we're going to work on. So other things may still be part of our intentions and what we want to do, but what we're doing by selecting one, we're really elevating it, emphasizing it, and saying this is the core focus. So yeah, it's not mutually exclusive that everything else has to go to the side. It's much more about bringing this a level above and having it be the focus, and other things may have some space too. So let's see if you can select that one word. And that's also going to be 3 minutes. So look at what you highlighted earlier, look at everything you got, and see what might come up. And again, we say in this session, we say you have a 24-hour money back guarantee, which means you can change your mind within the next 24 hours. Maybe after, you sleep over this and you wake up tomorrow and think, this other one was actually the one. So yeah, feel free to revisit, but only one time, not every day. So yeah, let's do that. Let's see how that might unfold for you. Okay, so we have one more step, but before we do that step, let's do a little check-in and also give you a chance to connect with a few people in small breakout rooms. The check-in is, I'm just curious first, how many of you feel now you have a word that's kind of reasonable, comfortable for you? Just show of hands. You can show the hands. Great, thank you. Thank you. And if you don't, it's okay. Again, you can consider that your first pass and then take another pass. But I would like you to do right now in the small breakout rooms is to share that word, even if you're not sure about it yet, but it seems like many of you are, and share what it means to you. However, if you can do that briefly, like within a minute, so that we can get the small group of 3 or 4, everybody to share and then come back to us so we can do step number 5, which is, by the way, the most important step. We're leaving it till the end. So, yeah, it'd be great to share that. And you know what happens when we share out loud? We gain insights that otherwise we may not have. So as you're sharing, you're likely to feel something. You may feel more confidence about the word, you may feel more skepticism, and that's good to notice. And that's good information. So sharing out loud, something I say sometimes, we learn and we grow as we share out loud. So that's an opportunity to do so in your small team. Okay, so let me start the breakout rooms, and we're gonna be um, and yeah, we're gonna keep the rooms 2 to 3 people. This way you get a chance to have a better conversation instead of having larger rooms. So rooms are open, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, so yeah, so welcome back. So hopefully it's a lot of excitement. And again, if not, it's okay too. And that could be just another iteration on your own when you're ready. So let's talk about number 5, the one I said this is probably the most important. So I'm gonna also copy this, put it in the chat for you, for those who like to see it when we're no longer looking at the slide. Um, so now it's time to take our word and the intention and put it into action. And the way we recommend you do this is to keep it simple and manageable, and just selecting 3 actions that are tangible that you can do within the next few weeks, let's say the first month of the year. Now, when we talk about actions, to make actions really work, they need to be specific. Like, if I want to be more patient, that's not an action that's specific enough to be actionable. So, but if I say in that one-on-one conversation with my colleague on that day, um, I'm gonna display more patience and listen more, that becomes much more actionable. So yeah, I think this is the art of creating actions that are realistic, actionable, relevant, aligned with our intention. That requires some, pausing and coming up with actions that really help us implement whatever that word means to us. So I'm going to encourage you now, again, in this short time frame, just giving you 3 minutes, actually more like 2 minutes, knowing we're close to the end, to come up with your first iteration of what those actions might be for January. And then end of January, you can reflect on February and come up with 3 more actions for February. So that's kind of how this could evolve. or whatever system or way you come up with. But the idea is to keep that effort alive throughout the year. So see if you come up with something right now. And this is, of course, something you can continue after the session today. Take your time and come up with the actual actions. But let's give it a couple minutes right now so you have your initial ideas down. All right. So hopefully there are some actions there that are going to help guide you. And then we do have a short closing exercise we'll do in just a minute. But before that, I just want to remind you that we're going to post today's session on the podcast on YouTube because it has visuals in it. So it will not be on the other platforms. So feel free to revisit it if you want. Some of you missed the beginning of the session. Feel free to check that out, share it with other people. And a few things upcoming in January to help continue the journey. We have a public program for mindfulness starting January. We have a Stanford program, those who are joining us from Stanford today. We have one at UCSF. Those are joining from UCSF. And feel free to email if you have any questions. So for now, the closing exercise is going to be, if you don't mind, typing your word in the chat, but not pressing the enter yet. Don't send it yet. So get yourself ready. And then when I say send it, if you don't mind us sending it, so we're gonna see them scroll and get inspired by all the words that are gonna scroll in front of us. So if you don't mind typing it in, so I'll give you 15-20 seconds for typing it in. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so let's hit that button. Let's send it and see them scroll and enjoy them. You can scroll up and down and check them out. Catalyst, Beatrice, that's wonderful. You Anita wants to create routines. Yeah, and shine and organized and feed. Okay. Coherence, I love that. Self-care is coming up quite often. Organization, compassion. Yeah, being bold and slow and self-care, heartfulness, proud, playful. Okay, Luis, you created a routine. Well, thank you all. So this has been so fun to do this together, and we'll look forward to seeing you in various ways in the new year. Enjoy the holidays. Anything, Sarah, you want to add to this before we conclude?
No, I want to read all those words again after after we've said goodbye.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, cool.
that was
Maybe
a lot
I'll
of
try
fun.
to print them and send them. Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a great holiday season, everyone, and take care. Yeah.
Take care. Enjoy the
Bye.
rest of your year.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.